Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to part 2 of my collection. No particular order, probably a little bit dreadful filming, but anyway, once again, I hope you guys enjoy. Just to give you a peek into another part of my collection. We'll start off in this tray, just having a little look around. That is a George III Soho mint penny, 2 little lead weights there. Quite an interesting Cistercius of Hadrian here, although very worn. The reverse is quite interesting. I haven't actually identified that yet, but it came from the same site that this one did, another Hadrian, which I've got to say, for a Cistercius these days, isn't too bad, apart from the reverse, that is. I've got another Roman coin here that's been well and truly drilled, polished, smoothened and abused. I've got a pastry jigger blade here. There's a Georgian coin which has been somewhat defaced there. That's a little Roman seal box lid there amongst some other fragments of Georgian buckle. Quite nice weights there with the coffee pot and the crown on and 2 little buckles. A pierced Celtic coin, don't see too many of those, accompanying by a rather nice lead bag seal there. And a couple of little Romans in the corner there, and I believe, yeah, that's a George III farthing there. Going over here, got 2 more little dump farthings of George I there. That's a Druid's head token, you can see, accompanied by a silver First World War medal, which has the gentleman's name on the side, but unfortunately trying to trace the family proved to be impossible. So it's now proudly in my collection, being looked after. A selection of buckles here, lovely little Georgian casket key there, and a rather nice lead bag seal. Going over this way, we have a little king's head there. Love those. It's the only one I've ever found. Fragments of buckles, buckle plates. And here, this is part of a medieval sieve system. Absolute, well, sieving artifact for sort of cheese ways, curds and things. This is where the handle would have stuck in, and it would have formed like a giant spoon with loads of holes in it. Always love the patina on this. Look at that rich glossiness and fantastic riveting for the age. Popping back a few years now is the first ever palstave axe that I found, and only one that I've ever found. Funny enough, in the next field I found a lump of bun ingot, again from the Bronze Age, which had been used as a hammer or an anvil, and loads of depressions and polished areas from the impact. That's a little Roman, what they call a complete bun ingot, showing where all the organic materials that got mixed up when it was cast have now decayed, leaving a sort of holy cheese-like texture. Another interesting thing I found, the trigger guard from a musket. So it's probably difficult for you guys to see that, isn't it? It's a trigger guard from a musket, you know, just like that, to show where it would have been. We've got here fake pound coins. Collect these, had them in the chain and in change for quite some time now, but always little curios. It's a handle off a chafing dish. Again, beautiful, rich, glossy green patina. Here, my completest little Roman pot that I found a few years ago with Dave in a little pit that contained loads of broken Roman pots and plates and sundry items, and that was the best one that I could find. Moving forward now, the best example I've ever found of a pipe tamper. This is one I absolutely love. I think it's St George and the Dragon, although there is another saint that killed a dragon, but most likely St George. Absolutely beautiful artifact, which leads me onto this one, which I'm sure a few people have seen over the years. Again, it's a pipe tamper. I think it's got a chain on the top, and I think it's a caricature of George III. It looks like that in profile, although whether George III was had such a physical attribute as that remains open to question, I suppose. But again, a very unusual little find. This is my pocket spill of George III halfpennies. They don't look to be in too good condition. When you actually get them to light, they're not actually too bad there, but it's the biggest little pile of Georgian coins that I've ever found. Plastic now? What's plastic doing in this? Well, that's part of the front dome of a Lancaster bomber. That was one of the crew was Johnny Johnson, and this particular piece of plastic in 1943 flew over the Zorpa Dam and released a bouncing bomb. Probably one of my most evocative little artefacts there. Not metal, but again, a fantastic thing. Here you see a 303 bullet with 2 German Zeppelin crew buttons, recovered from when I recovered L48, the crash site, some 10 years ago now at Theberton in Suffolk. That's a Turkish button recovered on the mountain top while I was out in the deserts of Jordan, surprisingly made by a company called Gertines, who, where I live now, are just 5 miles down the road. You never know what you're going to find metal detecting, but 2,000 miles away, I never expected to find a Turkish forces button. That dates from the First World War. That's the top of a lieutenant's cap badge that came from a B-17 crash site in Hertfordshire. A little utility penknife and a pair of navigator's dividers from a Junkers 188 that crashed in Essex in 1944. That's from a Junkers 88 night fighter, zipper from a flying jacket, a manufacturer's label, and a little tiny silver Dutch coin of Queen Wilhelmina. Obviously the Germans were in Holland, and this particular aircraft flew from a base at Gilsrien. So there's a nice little Dutch connection there. Crotal bells. Who doesn't like crotal bells, eh? Most of these, if not all of them, are still ringers. Absolutely fantastic. And the final thing I have to show is a pewter plate. Not sure of the age of this one. As you can see, it has a maker's mark and some strange striations on there. Some Roman pewter plates actually came from the same area, so fingers crossed it's either Roman or maybe 17th century. But if anyone wants to have a go at identifying that maker's mark, I've failed to do so, but you're more than welcome to do so. Right then guys, just a short film this time. There will be a part 3, where I'll cover another section of my collection, so you can all see. I hope you've enjoyed this small glimpse into this. And again, well, I just hope you enjoyed it. Okay, cheery bye now, everybody. Bye-bye.